not being reappointed. The statute that council's referred to provides for a position that every municipality must have a borough clerk or a municipal clerk, but that there can be an acting borough clerk. We have an acting borough clerk. It satisfies the requirements of the statute. Hiring on an additional person on this budget adds not only the salary, but also the benefits, the pension contributions, the Social Security contributions, and everything else, and that's a sizable number. I personally just don't think that the work warrants bringing somebody else in, and I just firmly believe that the economics are not there to justify expansion of that.
Thank you. Anyone else like to speak? Sarah?
I just want to say that the work does warrant that we have an additional person in the office. If you wanted to speak to any one of the employees that work in Borough Hall, they would tell you that they are inundated, that they are over their head with the amount of work that has to be done in there. Janine and I have been talking over the last couple of days, and when I told her that I decided to do this at the last minute today, which is not normally my style because I don't like to do this, but she convinced me that, you know, we had to do something and we couldn't put it off. We also passed a resolution for her to perform this job for 90 days. Not that we cannot extend that, but the other thing is that Janine does have some personal obligations and she may have to go out of the state. And taking that into consideration, I don't think that we should put ourselves in a jeopardizing position to not have someone in a borough clerk capacity. And I really don't want to have to go to another town and borrow somebody or do something of that nature. So I do feel that there is an urgency here. I do feel that the workload warrants it, and I do feel that yes, we are putting in a borough clerk, but the amount of money that we would have been paying had the previous borough clerk still been on the books. This is a great decrease in salary, and I still think it's going to be to a good benefit for the town.
Sarah, this is effective April 4th, is that correct?
Yes.
The person will come on April 4th?
Yes.
Or not before?
Right.
Anyone else want to speak to you?
Just briefly, Mayor, anybody in town who's familiar with the borough offices here can get a sense of just how many people have been added to the office staff by coming in and looking at the number of desks. There's another new desk in the office. We don't need another person.
Would anyone else? Patty?
At one point we had a full-time code officer, which was Drew Clark, and he helped out with everybody. He helped out with the, when people would come up to the desk. We no longer have that full-time person. We've cut that back to a part-time position. We have made cuts through if there's one, unfortunately, I must say, if there's one place that is getting cut is our front office, and that includes the fact that they didn't get the raises. I mean, everybody wanted to sign the petition, and the people that were hurt were those people across the hall, because the Public Works Department all got their raise, the police all got their raise, but the gals across the hall, some of them are hourly, didn't get their 1.5% raise. And so the point is that it's not as if we're replacing a position at a much reduced cost of what our prior clerk cost. And our intention when we did not reappoint the prior borough clerk, was to find another clerk. And mind you, it was everybody's decision at that point, that everybody agreed that we would not reappoint and that we would find somebody that was, and in fact, I believe Mr. Brennan even said how much we could find another clerk at. And Dave, we'll probably be able to find another clerk at, $40,000, $50,000. It's exactly what he said, quoted. And so the idea that the whole plan had not been to hire another borough clerk is wrong. Again, it's in the budget. There is a reduction of over $32,000 in our budget because we're hiring this particular individual.
Would anyone else like to speak to this?
If I can respond to the charge that, the new charge that Ms. Zendaya has made. I did not make the comments that she made. What I have always said is we need to be able to support it in the budget. This budget, absent all the gimmicks that the council is attempting to employ, does not have the wherewithal to absorb another person in the office.
Thank you, John. Anyone else want to speak? Matt?
I have to reiterate, you know, unfortunately, this is getting ridiculous, but Mr. Brennan did say that we could hire a new borough clerk at a reduced rate. Unfortunately, now, for some reason, he doesn't think that we should. I just want to tell you folks that I am head of personnel. I have talked very, very long and hard with other individuals that work in the office. Everybody is trying to pull their weight. Everybody interworks. Everybody helps each other. But when you have a deputy borough clerk and you have a borough clerk, they each have defined job functions. And right now, what is happening is Janine is trying to do the functions of the borough clerk and her functions that she was doing as the deputy borough clerk. Now, that has become very, very difficult at times. Everybody in there is pitching in. Everybody is helping one another. When Mr. Brennan says there's another new desk, as far as I understand, they just rearranged the office. They wanted to put a desk for the zoning officer who didn't have his own desk. So they put another desk in the office. He works part-time. And now everybody has their own desk, so we don't have to have a share policy. And I think that's getting kind of picky if we're going to say, well, we have another person when we really don't, and we have another desk when it's just to make things convenient.
Mayor.
I just really feel that we're moving in the right direction and we're saving money. And again, this is in order to run the town and run it efficiently. And I do say what Patty said. You know, the girls in there have been working very, very hard, and they are the only ones who have not received an increase. And they are really applauded for the work that they do.
Mr. Dibber?
Motion to call the question.
Yeah.
Motion to call the question.
May I have a motion, please, to call the question?
Yeah, motion and second.
Any discussion on calling the question? And this takes a 2/3 vote. Could I have a roll call, please?
Excuse me, Your Honor, I missed who made the second on that motion to call the question.
John.
Thank you.
John did, yeah.
Mr. Brennan,
Yes.
Ms. Sendai,
Yes.
Mr. Dibber,
Yes.
Ms. King,
Yes.
Mr. Mechanico,
Yes.
Mr. Vorback.
Mayor, would you just clarify something for me?
No, make your vote, please.
No.
You can't, no, okay. You can't, discuss it. It just takes a 2/3 vote. A resolution resolution number 54, 2011, a resolution appointing a borough clerk. May I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Brennan,
No.
Ms. Sendai,
Yes.
Mr. Dibber,
Yes.
Ms. King,
Yes.
Mr. Mechanico,
Yes.
Mr. Vorback.
No.
Motion passed.
Consent
Mayor, as
agenda.
a point of order, I don't think a calling of the question requires a 2/3.
It does. Under Robert's rules, it does. And I will show you in Robert's rules. It says it takes a 2/3 vote. Because after the first time you did it, we just voted, but I looked it up to be sure.
Well, safely, we have
Yeah.
2/3.
2/3 vote. A consent agenda, which is court report, police report, licenses and permits. We have a lot of raffles. May I have a motion, please, to approve the consent agenda as listed?
I'll make that motion.
Any discussion? May I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Brennan,
Yes.
Ms. Sendai,
Yes.
Mr. Dibber,
Yes.
Ms. King,
Yes.
Mr. Mechanico,
Yes.
Mr. Vorback.
May I have a motion, please, to open the second voice of the public for new business only?
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Would anyone like to speak under new business only? Okay, may I have a motion to close the second voice of the
I'll
public?
make that motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
T2 2011 transfer resolution, may I have a motion, please?
Make that motion.
I'll second it.
Any discussion on the transfer resolution? May I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Brennan?
Yes.
Ms. Zendaya?
Yes.
Mr. Dillon?
Yes.
Ms. King?
Yes.
Mr. Mechanical?
Yes.
Mr. Warbeck?
May I have a motion, please, to move bills to the finance committee?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? May I have a roll call?
Mr. Brennan?
Yes.
Ms. Zendaya?
Yes.
Mr. Diver?
Yes.
Ms. King?
Yes.
Mr. Mechanical?
Yes.
Mr. Warbeck?
Yes.
May I have a motion, please, to draw voucher warrants?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? May I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Brennan?
Yes.
Ms. Zendaya?
Yes.
Mr. Diver?
Yes.
Ms. King?
Yes.
Mr. Mechanical?
Yes.
Mr. Warbeck?
Yes.
May I have a motion to adjourn at
I'll
8:58?
make that motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
John,